You should know when it's better to rent roll-off dumpsters. What do things like working on a home improvement project and planning an outdoor event have in common? These might seem like completely different ventures, but there's an important byproduct of both that you need to consider: waste. Whether you're landscaping, remodeling, demonstrating, or celebrating, there's likely to be a significant amount of refuse left over at the end of the process. Producing waste means that you have a responsibility to deal with that waste effectively, so always make sure you have a comprehensive plan for doing so. There are several different ways to get rid of junk in bulk, but for the sake of usefulness, we're going to focus on 3 of the most popular methods. The first of these options is to call for professional junk removal. The second is to use a vehicle to cart your junk away to the proper disposal facility. The third option is to rent roll-off dumpsters, which you can fill at your convenience and keep for a length of time you determine. At the end of that time, the company will pick up your dumpster and dispose of its contents. Proponents of all 3 methods each have valid reasons for their preferences, but we're interested in the specific costs and benefits of each strategy. Is one method generally better than the others? Do specific circumstances give different options the edge? Below is a comprehensive analysis of each strategy, followed by our recommendation. Read on and discover the best way to get rid of the junk your activities produce. Calling a full-service junk removal company. Many people just choose the most obvious solution when it comes to getting rid of the junk they produce. For those of you who don't want to consider your waste for a second longer than necessary and who are willing to pay whatever it takes to make it vanish, hiring a junk removal company can be an easy ticket to peace of mind. However, there are certain times when hiring a company to haul your trash away may not be the most cost-effective strategy. Before you assume that this strategy is always best, think carefully about your circumstances. The pros. A high-quality junk hauler can certainly make disposal easy, but they may not always be necessary. Junk hauling companies are most useful when they are called in to clean up after larger, pre-scheduled events. There are several reasons for this. Number 1, it's easy to predict when a pre-scheduled event is going to end, which prevents you from paying for more time than you anticipated or calling the removal company too early. Number 2, junk haulers are often only present at your site for a couple of hours, so they can easily avoid permit fees and other zoning issues that long-standing trash receptacles might incur. The cons. If your event is ongoing and doesn't have a set ending time, you may not need to call for full-service junk removal. Additionally, if you are doing work on your own property, you may not necessarily benefit from a hauler's ability to work without a permit, because you may not require one in the first place. Driving junk to a disposal facility by yourself. Sometimes a person decides they can save money by avoiding professional help. If you have a pickup truck or another vehicle with generous cargo capacity, you may have considered driving your waste to a disposal facility on your own. While this can be useful in a limited number of instances, there are many challenges that people rarely consider before trying to cart their junk away by themselves. The pros. If you own a large and powerful enough vehicle, you may be able to move a significant amount of waste without additional resources. Doing so can save you from permit fees and the costs of using junk removal professionals. The cons. Avoid permits and paying for help? Sounds good, right? Unfortunately, you're likely to face other costs if you decide to haul away your trash in your own vehicle. For starters, you have to own a vehicle capable of moving the debris in question. Renting one isn't going to be a good choice because you'll be filling it with waste. Any lasting odors, stains, or upholstery damage from sharp edges could cost you a lot of money. Then there are the fees you may find at the disposal facilities themselves. Finally, if you're carrying any hazardous material, you're taking a personal risk by driving around with it in the back of your truck. These factors make DIY junk removal most viable in very limited circumstances, like small handyman projects with harmless byproducts. Roll-off dumpster rental. The last of the 3 most common waste removal strategies is to rent a roll-off dumpster. The idea behind this option is simple. You call a service like Junk King, who delivers a debris box at your convenience. You fill it on a schedule that works for you, and they pick it up after a few days to dispose of the contents appropriately. While many of these companies also offer full junk removal, there are plenty of instances where renting a roll-off dumpster can be surprisingly valuable. The pros. We've talked about dumpster fees earlier, which might have some people worried. However, it's worth noting that if a dumpster is small enough to fit in a convenient location on your property, you can avoid paying a fee for it. Another advantage is the ability to work on a timetable that you find maximally efficient. Instead of being at the beck and call of a team of other people or waiting in the queue at a disposal facility, you'll be able to work during the times that suit you best. Finally, in many cases, renting a roll-off dumpster allows you to save money by only charging you for the space you use. The cons. Renting a dumpster works best for home improvement projects and gatherings on the property you own. You can make use of them for larger events, but in some cases, you might need a permit. Our recommendations for proper waste removal. Make no mistake, some situations call for one of the above methods over others. If you're in charge of organizing a large event in a public space, you might choose to have a company come and oversee the cleanup once it's all over. Just make sure you know when that is ahead of time. If you happen to own a pickup truck or other utility vehicle and you don't mind the smell of garbage lingering in the back seat, you might opt to take it away by yourself. Of course, you'll want to be on the lookout for toxins or junk deposits with sharp edges. However, in most other areas, renting roll-off dumpsters stands out as both convenient and cost-effective. Stay within the boundaries of your property, fill your dumpster efficiently, and you'll be able to save plenty of time and money alike. Using a reliable and nationally respected company can ensure that you're renting from responsible professionals who can provide honest, upfront prices and prompt delivery or pickup. Junk removal is a necessary part of the aftermath for any responsible project, but it doesn't have to be difficult. Make sure to assess your needs carefully, then select the plan that will satisfy them best.